Hello and welcome back to the Geordie Pig Investor channel. Today we are going to go through our monthly portfolio update, have a look how the portfolio is performing over the last month, go through all of my stocks and see how it's doing. At the start of September, we can see our portfolio. I had invested £24,200 and the portfolio value was just over £25,200 with a return of 4.42% being up over £1,000. Since then, the portfolio's value has increased overall as it is now worth £27,100, but we have invested £26,200. As we can see, the return has dipped slightly as a plus 3.57%, which is a return of £934. Having said this, I'm still very happy with where the portfolio is at, and if you haven't seen my latest dividend portfolio video going through the dividends I received last month, and it totaled to over £70, then I'm very happy with my portfolio and the way it's shaping up, considering I am a long-term dividend investor, so I'm not as focused on the overall performance of the portfolio, although it's always nice to see it improving. I'm more focused on my stocks continually paying my dividend payments and making sure that they are progressing those dividend payments and growing them over time, which so far they are doing. I've now been investing for 14 months and I've learned a hell of a lot in this 14 months and feel like I'm only really getting started now. Like I say, this is the highest my portfolio has ever been valued at over £27,100. So really happy that it's just continually improving month to month, and hopefully we can cross that £30,000 mark by the end of the year. If we have a look through my actual portfolio itself, we can go through my investments and see how they're performing. A recent one that I purchased into was Alphabet, also known as Google. I bought 3.15 shares and we can see it has actually returned a nice £20 already, being up over 5%. Apple's had a nice recovery over the last month and has been up over 2%, meaning my position is now up over 20%. AstraZeneca, on the other hand, has had a very poor month, being down over 12%, although I did receive dividends from this month and we bought in at a very nice price, so overall we are still up a good amount. BAE Systems is in a similar position to AstraZeneca, also being down quite a lot this month. As you can see, my position now is plus £21, being up 14%. BP and Shell, my two UK oil-based stocks, are both having a very turbulent month as well, because they are down 9% for BP, and we can see if I go down to Shell, they are also down 9%. It's going to be quite a similar trend with stocks like that when they're in the same sectors. Usually if one's performing bad, the other one is likely to follow. But on the flip side, when one's performing well, again, the other one will likely be performing well. I am still receiving very good payments from these companies, as I received my first BP dividend payment this month and also received a tasty dividend from Shell this month. A position that is actually in the green is British American Tobacco, being up 15%. We can then see my worst performer in the entire portfolio, which interestingly has actually been up over 17% in the last week. So this was actually much worse off than where it is right now, but still massively in the red, in one position that I'll hopefully sell out of in the near future. Apart from that, if we start looking down the portfolio, we can see our American oil-based company is also slightly down, which is Chevron. Not quite as badly hit as BP and Shell, but still down over 3%, although I'm very bullish on all three of these companies still, and I've been continuing to add to the positions in these companies over the past few weeks in the month of September. Alongside them, we have Diageo, which again has recovered very nicely in the last month, being up over 5%. So this position's ever edging closer to being a level, which will be very nice for me to eventually see. Also pays a very nice dividend and is paying me next month, and is going to be one of the biggest dividend payments I've ever received. So I'm very much looking forward to receiving that. If I scroll down the portfolio now, we can see some of my bigger positions, which are in ETFs, such as the EQQ Nasdaq 100 fund, which is up over £100 currently. We also have Starbucks with over £1,000 invested. Vanguard FTSE All World with over £2,900 invested. We have nearly £1,000 in VEVE, the FTSE Developed World Fund, and we have over £3,800 in the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF, which is my biggest position in the portfolio. As you can see, we also have Visa and Vici Properties at very nice positions, both being valued at over £1,500, with Visa being slightly in the red and Vici Properties being in a nice healthy 9% profit as of right now. We also added to Walt Disney last month, which we can see has also performed very well, similar to Google. We added these two stocks at the same time and they're actually both coincidentally up over 5%. So very happy with those additions to the portfolio. They are both recently reintroduced a dividend as well, which is why I've invested in these companies. I believe over the long term they'll both have very nice dividend growth, although their dividend yields are very low to start off with. I do believe, like I say, long term they will slowly be creeping up, and because I'm buying in while the yield is low right now, as they continue to increase that, it means my yield on cost is only going to get better and better. So these are all the stocks in my current portfolio. Another one that's performed very well since I purchased into it only a couple of months ago is Louis Vuitton. I bought into this stock for the first time 2 months ago and have been continuing to add while it was down in this position down here. And recently it shot back up, as we can see over the last week. It's up a massive 15%. I did believe it was massively undervalued, and I do think that this stock is only going to start increasing back up and hopefully get towards those all-time highs, towards that €850 mark, currently at 688. Again, this is a very nice dividend payer, and they have a really healthy free cash flow position at the minute in the company. So that's a portfolio overall. Like I say, we're up a healthy £900, being up 3.57%. If I take you over here as well, we can have a look at my dividend history, and I can show you that since opening this portfolio, we are up over now £400, which is an amazing figure across. Like I mentioned earlier, I've only had the portfolio for 14 months, so to have made that much already and to start seeing that snowball effect really taking place is very exciting. And the last 2 months, I've made over £70 in both months as well. If we go across to our orders, we can see our overall profit and loss is actually close to £400 as well. So between the two, we're up nearly £800. When you add that to our current position in the portfolio being up £900, it means actually we are closer to returning just over 6% rather than that 3.56% it shows right here. Sometimes this number can be a little bit deceiving depending on some of the stocks you may have bought and sold out of, because some people's realized profit and loss may be massively in the negative. So they've sold out with some real big red positions, and they might be lying to you and showing you a really good return, healthy return on here, but in reality they've had an awful profit and loss realized, which means that they're actually in the red overall. Whereas I'll always be transparent and show you everything on my channel, show you all of my dividends I've received, my realized profit and loss overall, and every single stock that I buy and sell every single month. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Like I say, this is our September portfolio update. Let me know how your portfolio performed in the month of September and what stocks you're looking to potentially add to your portfolio in the month of October. I'm looking forward to some more healthy dividends. Like I mentioned, Diageo being our biggest payer this month, and I've got a couple other big payers in the month of October. If you've enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. This is the Geordie Pig Investor, over and out.